Hey, good morning, guys. I did another video and I deleted it because it was boring. My husband's still sleeping, I think. And he was like my savior for for Christmas. He did like all of the stuff so that I could just sit and participate in everything, and he was just awesome. He did the birds and the cooking and the cleaning, and he just was awesome. So he deserves a prize. But he's sleeping and he deserves to sleep, so I'm letting him, and I am don't have any makeup on, so that's why. It is December 28th, 2019. We had a great Christmas. We enjoy. Greta's going to the restroom. He tries. So we had a great Christmas. It was lots of fun. Yesterday we had Bruce, Justin, Alex, and Bruce's girlfriend. Thank you, Greta. So we got to open presents with her, and we got to open up a few more like family movie things, and a Yoda puzzle that's very cool. And then we went outside and we're throwing those little snap things at each other. Justin was throwing them at everybody, and so then we all got boxes and started throwing them at him. Those little pop snap things. We had them when we were kids. Now they have them in different colors. What are you doing? You want back up on my lap? Oh goodness, but you're stinky because you just took a poo. Oh, anyway. You okay? Okay. Legs are like sticking out. So we did that. It was a fun evening. Taylor got us all this Dungeons and Dragons stuff because he wants us to do Dungeons and Dragons, and that came out when I was young. There was like some people that were doing it back when, like in the 80s, and it was always the super smart kids that are super smart guys that were playing it, and it's just basically it's like you put together a storyline, and then everybody kind of changes the storyline and rolls the dice to decide if they succeed or fail, and it's kind of a neat thing. You got toes. Look at your toes. And he's sitting here just kind of chilling out. And so he did that. And then was it last night or this morning? This morning, I think, I started reading. Amazon Prime has those books you can borrow and read, and some of them have the audio where it reads it to you. So I got The Pursuit of God by A.W. Tozer. And I know that a lot of people have read that book. It's a different way of going about thinking of Christianity. It's kind of neat. It really goes into the whole you own nothing that you have is yours. You own nothing. The only thing that you can have that is worth anything is God, and it's kind of it's real. I mean, it talks about how you can't choose God. God has to choose you first, and then you accept. And which is really, true. I don't know how many times I remember when I was young, you would go to a church thing with a friend, and they would do an altar call, and they would tell you that if you said the right things, that you were born again, but nothing changed, and you didn't feel any different. And it was kind of like, well, I'm not sure it worked. And basically, it talks about in the book how God has to put it in your heart first, because that altar call is not going to work if he doesn't call you first. But I think it's a good step in showing him you're interested. So, but it goes along those lines, and it's kind of an interesting read, and I'm letting it read it to me, so that's kind of nice, because my eyes are like that big. And anyway, so that's kind of cool. This today probably will be a chill day, and then Bruce and I are going to sit down and work out how our 2020 plans are going to go. We need to scale back, make life a little bit easier so that we can do it, because it's right now not doable. We have to organize and purge and make things simpler. I may not be able to do a garden this year, or I may have to really scale back and do something different. The birds we're still going through the pox things. They're kind of scaling back themselves. I did a count yesterday, and we have like 40 roosters. 40 roosters. A lot of babies that are not babies, but grow outs. They're young. And then 126 hens. No, 96 hens. 126 total, or 136 total, whatever. You can figure it out. Anyway, so 96 hens, 40 roosters. You're supposed to have like one rooster to 4 to 7 hens. And so my ratio is completely off. But a lot of them will go to like the feed store, or they'll be rehomed. The roosters will. So my roosters, though, are the most interesting. The hens aren't. That's the funny thing, is that the hens are not necessarily as social. The roosters are full of baloney, and they're beautiful, and they have the big collars and the big tails, and they're just, so the roosters are actually more fun than the hens are. Don't have a quail egg yet, and so I don't think Megan does either, but then I haven't checked my phone. So we're still on. We're still going to see who has the first quail egg. She has a better chance because she has more quail than I do. But but it just takes one. And then I was going to get the mail yesterday, and I found feathers on the road, which is never a good sign, and they were clumped together, so something had gotten eaten. And I looked, and they were black feathers, and I was like, this is not one of my birds, unless I miscounted and I'm missing one that I don't know. I do have a lot of black satins. But so I talked to Courtney across the street, and she's not at home at the moment, and so she doesn't, so she just recently found out that she lost a lot of her birds, and so that was probably one of her birds, and they're thinking that it gotten by a fox. And so Dad's like, well, we might have to set a trap. And I'm like, well, yes, but I hate setting traps and rehoming everything. We live in the country, and there's a balance here, and you can't set traps and rehome everything. He rehomed some raccoons. That was fine, because raccoons can be a nuisance, but he rehomed them. But he rehomed some possums, and I was like, you should have left the possums, because they eat the bad stuff that we really want them to eat. So he rehomed a couple of snakes, rat snakes, which we really could use the rat snakes, but they were getting caught in the netting and then they die. And so he rehomed a few, but we still have some here, so hopefully that'll be fine. Anyway, so today's goal is probably to chill out, maybe organize a few things, and then make a plan for 2020. I'm going to read a lot of books. That's one of my goals, is to read a lot of books and really grow. I really, really want to. I really want to grow in a lot of areas of my life. I want to grow. I want to mature. I want to find ways of meditating and being peaceful and stuff, to try to reverse or to try to feel better, so that this fibro thing doesn't just keep getting worse and taking over. So that's one of my goals for 2020. And so we'll see how that goes. And, I'm hopeful for the next year. It's a big year, 2020. Wow. It's a big year. I feel like it's like, when we were like 2000, remember everybody was scared. It was going to 2000 and the computers were going to shut down. It's like the end of the world. So Alex came in our room right before it turned to 2000. I guess he was concerned. But yeah, so it's I'm very hopeful. We're going to see how things go, make some changes, do a few things, and hopefully I'll feel better in this next year. Maybe they'll come up with some good some cures for some of this crap all these people are getting. I swear there's more sick people around. More of my friends have autoimmune stuff that is limiting them than doesn't, and that's really sad, because it really limits what you can do with your life. But I think our world is just so busy and so stressful. The news and everything, what people are finding to do instead of just, all the money and time that it takes to, impeach a president or do some of these things that, why, it's like, he's done. You wasted your time. You went all the way through it. Was it just for the, I don't know. Anyway, so so that's our goals for the day. It looks kind of like a rainy day. It feels, the wind is blowing, maybe a front is blowing in or whatever. Rocky tried to kind of sidestep me this morning, so I just left his little butt outside of the coop. And so he's outside. His girls are in the run. He's like on the outside. And so the girls are probably going, yes, thank you, and running around. I still have quite a few birds that are on the back porch. I have 3 necropsies I need to do for 3 birds that I lost. One, I think, was to coccidiosis, and then the other 2 was probably to pox. Or 2 were coccidiosis, and 1 was to pox. 1 I know was to pox. I just need to find out exactly how it affected her, because it blocked her breathing. So I'll just have to figure that one out. And then that's it. We're just really going to focus on organizing and purging and whatever, and see how this year goes. It might turn out to be just an awesome year. We have to think positive, and I'm going to read lots of books on things, and maybe just some nice, fun, relaxing storybooks too. Haven't done those in a long time. Haven't read a book, just a regular book, in forever. I just don't know. We just don't do that anymore. Just crazy. Life is just too crazy. Why is it so crazy? We need to slow down. We just really need to slow down. Seriously. If you're running around like a chicken with your head chopped off, it's not good for us, and we're starting to feel the effects of it. So, Like, my rheumatologist said, stress is stress, good stress or bad stress. No matter what you do, stress is stress. It's kind of the spoon theory. You have 12 spoons to work with through the day. And just spending time with a friend laughing on the phone is going to take up some of those spoons. It's sad to say, but it is. A shower is going to take up a couple of spoons. It's just how it goes. And when you have autoimmune stuff. And so we have to be careful with how we use our spoons. And don't use them by watching the news. Just don't. Yeah, whatever. Because evidently when you vote a president into office, there are other people, like a group of people, who are just going to spend a ton of money that could have been used for better things to get rid of him for all 4 years of his term. That's so crazy. So crazy. I know. I'm sorry. It's just, I think I'm one of these people who, I see so many people who are in need, who are working hard while they're not feeling good. They don't have medicine. They don't have insurance. They don't have, all this stuff. And we're doing something so stupid as spending ridiculous amounts of money to impeach a president. And it just doesn't make any sense to me to do stuff like that. Just wait and vote him out if you don't like him. It's that simple. But it's, you're not helping anybody by blowing so much money when so many people are hurting, and that money could have gone to a better use. So, anyway, that's just my opinion, but I'm one of these people who is very careful with money and needs to know where it goes. And it's, I don't like money. I don't like the hold money has on people. I wish there was a better way, but there's not. So anyway, you guys have an awesome day, and let me know what y'all are going to do for 2020. I'm curious to see if anybody else has anything different, other than the traditional, I'm going to get in shape and I'm going to do this, stuff, which we all, put on our list. Is there anything different? Is there anything like really, really cool, interesting, or whatever? I mean, volunteering more, or I don't know. I just wonder, what works for others. There's this just huge like snowball effect of depression in adults and children now, and there's got to be something to it. And where's it coming from? And we don't know. And so I think there's too much negative information going in, and we need to stop all of that. There needs to be more positive. There needs to be more time, fun time, silliness, and lightheartedness. Not so much of this, anger and stiff and stressful. And, when you look at some of your family members and they look like they're about to have a heart attack, and you're like, my gosh, because they're just so wired up, And I'm like the opposite. I'm like not wired. I'm goofy and I talk a lot. But I also listen a lot, and I love to learn, and but I have had my bouts of depression too, and usually it's because of something that someone else thinks or has said about me that I take to heart, and I shouldn't take to heart. I shouldn't care what anybody else thinks. I should live my life in a way that honors God and is good for my health. And so that's always been my focus. But it's kind of hard sometimes when you have people who are judging that you. It's hard to not take it to heart, especially when you're soft-hearted. And so that's, been a challenge of mine and probably a lot of other people too. But we have a lot of young people who are going through a lot. Parents getting divorced and kids having to listen to a lot of negativity from uh, parent bashing or whatever. I know we did. Um, and so, we need to be a little bit more careful, I think. I think we need to change things. There needs to be a really large wave of change that comes through. Maybe 2020 might be part of it. Maybe we can slow down a bit and just kind of have like the good information coming in, and like I have been doing the last few days, or the other day I had my Echo Dot play a song, and then I told my husband, come in the kitchen and dance with me. We need more of that. There needs to be more of that. There needs to be more, puzzles at the table with your kids, and let the messy house go. Just let it be messy. It'll be there. It's waiting for you. Don't worry about it. And just enjoy what you've got. Just enjoy what you've got. You're breathing. Enjoy it. You're able to walk. Enjoy it. You're able to, talk to friends, and you have children that are healthy. You have a husband that you love. Enjoy it. Be thankful of what you've got, and we really, really need to focus on some of those things. We need to change how we're thinking, because there's way too much ick going on, and we've got to focus on good things and change things. So maybe 2020 might be one of those years. You never know. I've got hope. So maybe you can have hope too. So let me know your ideas. It's sorry, I'm nothing fancy this morning. Just me and my cat in my pajamas, and just enjoying a Saturday morning, listening to the roosters crow outside and watching the wind blow. Even though it's cloudy, it's still just beautiful. It's got like that wintry look to it, and even though we're in Texas and it's probably like 70 degrees outside, but it's just I think sometimes we don't stop and just appreciate what's around us. We just don't. If it wasn't here, if we were living in a country where we were fearing for our lives, we just don't know any better, because we're blessed living in the United States. And so, anyway, so the 28th, we only have let's see, we only have a few days left before the next year starts, 2020. And so you guys, I hope you had an awesome Christmas, and just have a great New Year's too. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Don't have to stay up till midnight if you don't want to, but do something fun. Maybe toast with your spouse or your significant other or your children, or your best friend or something like that, and dance in the kitchen or something. I don't know. But you guys have an awesome day, and I will talk to you soon.